The world of poultry production was not built on luck or chance. It was built through decades of relentless genetic selection and the tireless effort of visionary breeders who truly understood the massive potential of pure bloodlines. If your main goal is to establish a highly profitable project, build true homestead food security, or master the art of producing high-value protein, there is a foundational core you simply cannot ignore. This applies under any production context. Today we are going to dissect the genetics, performance, and productive power of the 4 fundamental breeds that sustain the industry globally. These breeds serve as the absolute baseline for creating the most successful commercial hybrids on the entire planet. We are not talking about backyard birds without a real purpose. Instead, we are looking at true production powerhouses, perfected to transform feed into eggs and meat with an efficiency that remains completely unmatched. Get ready for a deep dive into the biological characteristics, sexual maturity, and feed conversion of these 4 formidable and historic poultry pillars. This specific technical knowledge will always separate the amateur from the highly seasoned producer. Let's begin. Number 1. The pinnacle of metabolic efficiency and the engine of the white egg industry, the Leghorn breed. When we discuss the absolute supremacy in feed conversion and maximum profitability in white shell egg production, no other lineage in poultry history can even come close to the biological impact of the Leghorn breed. Originating from the Mediterranean region, this bird is the very definition of a hyper-specialized biological machine, designed through generations of rigorous selection to do one single thing with unbeatable efficiency: transform quality layer feed directly into premium quality protein. An experienced farmer knows that the true profit margin isn't in how much a bird eats, but in what it does with that feed. And here the Leghorn reigns unopposed. Its feed conversion rate is legendary, requiring on average only 3.9 to 4.2 ounces of daily commercial rations to produce a large-sized egg to a jumbo egg, with weights consistently ranging between 2.1 and 2.3 ounces. These eggs, of an immaculate white that is the standard of the commercial industry, are produced at an astonishing laying rate, easily reaching 300 to 320 eggs per year in well-managed pure lines, and even more in their commercial derivatives. They carry a lean, athletic frame with no wasted muscle, rarely weighing more than 4.4 pounds in females at optimal reproductive age, drastically minimizing the metabolic expenditure for maintaining its organism. Delving deeper into its genetic impact within the poultry sector, the true power of the Leghorn lies in its pure hereditary material, which is the undeniable cornerstone of almost all white egg high-yield hybrids on the planet today. Utilizing targeted crossbreeding, the unmatched genetic vigor of the Leghorn Foundation males transmits an enviable precocity to their offspring, unlocking early sexual maturity so that the new pullets begin their laying cycle as early as 16 or 18 weeks of life. This early productive explosion is fundamental for any large-scale poultry project seeking to drastically shorten the timeframes for return on investment. Furthermore, to support this biological precocity, their temperament reflects their extremely high metabolic rate. They are markedly nervous birds, extremely active, always in constant motion, and with a perpetual inclination to forage. Consequently, this demands exceptionally careful handling, strict routines, and enclosed environments without abrupt stress or jarring noises from the producer, completely avoiding sudden drops in the daily production volumes inside the layer houses. As a direct consequence of this reproductive specialization pushed to its biological limit, the natural incubation instinct has been practically eradicated from its poultry genome over a century of continuous improvement. It's incredibly rare for a Leghorn hen to go broody, thus guaranteeing at the flock level that there are no unproductive pauses or lost cycles in your facilities, as the birds remain in the nesting boxes exclusively the time strictly necessary to lay the egg. The economic laying lifespan in this light breed is exceptionally prolonged for a bird under such high pressure and output performance. While many other heavy strains drastically decline in their laying rate after the first feather molt, a Leghorn managed under artificial lighting programs can maintain an economically viable production for 2, 3, and even 4 complete and uninterrupted laying cycles. Introducing the genetics of the unparalleled Leghorn into your high profitability farm isn't simply acquiring standard or conventional field birds. It's immediately injecting into your genetic base a constant, predictable, and rigorously proven flow of unmatched metabolic efficiency. Number 2. The dual-purpose titan and the foundation of the global brown egg, the Rhode Island Red breed. If the Leghorn dominates the undisputed empire of the white egg, the Rhode Island Red is, equally so, the absolute monarch and the immovable backbone of massive brown shell egg production globally. Developed in the United States with the foundational intention of creating the ultimate, hardy, and self-sufficient farm bird, this breed forms the untouchable gold standard when a producer seeks a masterful balance between a massive, sustained production of eggs and a more than respectable final meat quality, classifying it as a dual-purpose lineage of the highest global elite. However, its tremendous and proven reproductive vigor over the decades has historically tipped the productive scale heavily towards high-intensity laying. A Rhode Island red hen originating from a proven pure line is biologically capable of delivering between 250 and 280 eggs annually on a sustained basis, a truly staggering figure for a poultry animal possessing a wide bone structure and such a dense, solid muscular conformation. These exceptional eggs feature a rich, deep, saturated brown color, a highly demanded tone in numerous markets that strongly prefer the traditional and robust appearance of these high-density nutritional products. Analyzing their nutritional requirements and genetic base, the feed conversion rate in this red breed directly reflects its heavier and more robust physical constitution out in the field. Logically, it requires a slightly larger margin of daily commercial rations compared to the super light Mediterranean breeds, consuming around 4.6 to 4.9 ounces of formulated feed per day to sustain its complete physiology. Nevertheless, it brilliantly compensates for this additional nutritional consumption by developing a valuable and compact structural corpulence that, upon reaching the end of its extensive productive lifespan, effortlessly translates into a highly usable and marketable carcass weight that easily reaches 6.6 pounds of meat with excellent flavor and texture. Speaking exclusively of its unsurpassed foundational genetic power, it's virtually impossible to overstate the immense economic impact the Rhode Island Red has exerted on modern commercial breeding across all 5 continents. The imposing males of this classic lineage are, in essence, the main critical component behind the absolute majority of sex-linked brown egg hybrid layers, transmitting an immunological resistance and a laying capacity refined by animal science to optimize every single gram of ingested protein. In terms of integral biological development within farm operations, these magnificent and strong birds achieve sexual maturity extremely efficiently for their considerable mass and body size, triggering their first and highly vigorous regular laying cycle exactly within the time frame of 18 to 20 weeks of age, a synchronization trait that is vital and irreplaceable for the commercial planning and cash flow of any breeder's business. Their daily temperament in the pens is the complete opposite of the high-strung nature of the light-laying lines. The Rhode Island Red invariably exhibits a highly docile, calm, adaptable, and deeply resilient character when faced with daily handling and manipulation by the farm operator. Genetically, they're hardy birds that can handle bitter winters and sweltering summers without missing a beat, ensuring a minimal drop or impact on their valuable monthly productive levels. As for the historic maternal incubation instinct in the breed, it has been progressively and moderately suppressed throughout multiple contemporary commercial genetic crosses to maximize the time spent laying, ensuring that the return on investment remains constant throughout their entire useful life. Number 3. The genetic robustness and the historical pillar of American heritage, the Plymouth Rock breed. Moving forward in our analysis of globally determining poultry lineages, we find ourselves before an absolute masterpiece of classic selective breeding, the unmistakable Plymouth Rock breed, specifically in its acclaimed barred variety. Originating from the American continent during the 19th century, this imposing bird was conceived with a strictly focused foundational purpose on the integral profitability of the farm, rapidly establishing itself as one of the best dual-purpose birds in the history of animal production. Unlike the super light-laying lines that concentrate all their metabolic energy into the reproductive tract, the Plymouth Rock possesses a wide, deep muscular conformation, naturally accompanied by a substantial and heavy bone development that grants it a phenomenal physical resistance against demanding productive environments. This significantly heavier body structure directly impacts its feed conversion rate on a daily basis. It naturally exhibits a feed intake superior to a pure leghorn, requiring a consistent daily supply oscillating between 4.9 and 5.3 ounces of quality layer feed to sustain its considerable biomass and notable egg production. In exchange for this superior caloric investment by the seasoned producer, the Plymouth Rock delivers a truly admirable production volume for a bird of its physical bulk and muscular density. Delving deeply into the exact metrics of its field performance, a Plymouth Rock hen maintained under strict technical management and an unbreakable nutritional program is perfectly capable of producing a sustained range of between 200 and 250 eggs annually during its first optimal laying cycle. These premium-grade eggs feature an extremely resistant, dense eggshell, displaying a beautiful light brown coloration or attractive dark pinkish tint, consistently reaching a large size averaging between 2.1 and 2.3 ounces per unit weight, a caliber highly valued in demanding farmers' markets. However, the most game-changing and lasting legacy of the Plymouth Rock in modern commercial breeding on an industrial scale undoubtedly lies in its extraordinary and indispensable genetic power within advanced hybridization programs and highly structured commercial crosses. The females of this barred breed represent the absolutely essential maternal line for the creation of the world-famous black sex-link hybrids. Utilizing targeted crossbreeding, pure Rhode Island Red Foundation roosters are bred with pure barred Plymouth Rock females. In this process, geneticists cleverly harness sex-linked inheritance to produce entire flocks, where newly hatched males and females can be visually separated with 100% precision. From the very first instant of life, this method drastically reduces operating costs in large international hatcheries. Regarding its physiological development throughout the crucial rearing weeks, Plymouth Rock pullets exhibit a remarkably solid and structurally sound growth rate, ultimately reaching full sexual maturity and unlocking the regular laying process generally between 20 and 22 weeks of age. This slight postponement in the onset of laying, especially when compared directly to the highly specialized white lines, allows the bird to fully consolidate its pelvic skeleton and critical body reserves before subjecting itself to the enormous biological stress of a continuous reproductive cycle. Furthermore, their social behavior inside the poultry house or out in the foraging pastures is truly exemplary. They boast a very placid, calm temperament and are highly unprone to episodes of collective hysteria or damaging pecking, which greatly facilitates daily egg collection, sanitary inspection, and vaccination tasks for the farm personnel. They are the complete opposite of the high-strung nature seen in lighter breeds. Although the ancestral incubation instinct has been significantly attenuated through continuous generations of selection aimed at massive egg-laying, it's still possible to observe a certain tendency toward broodiness in isolated individuals, particularly during the months featuring the longest summer photoperiod. Finally, their productive lifespan is highly noteworthy, easily offering 2 or even 3 complete, economically profitable laying cycles before being destined for meat production, providing an outstanding dressed carcass for the table. Number 4. The British biological excellence and the foundation of industrial crossing, the Light Sussex breed. Completing this foundational quartet of elite poultry genetics, we analyze one of the most respected biological creations from the United Kingdom, the Sussex breed, specifically its highly demanded light variety. From its early origins in the fertile English counties, this specific lineage was meticulously selected to simultaneously supply the extremely high demand for premium white meat while maintaining a constant, robust supply of eggs during the harsh, freezing European winters. The spectacular result of this strategic historical breeding approach is a bird featuring an exceptionally balanced phenotype, genetically endowed with a wide back, a deep, meaty chest, and a general physical conformation that exudes hardiness and absolute health from every single pore of its white skin. Physiologically, this robust and well-proportioned body naturally entails a significant daily nutritional requirement for its correct cellular maintenance. The feed conversion rate of the Light Sussex demands a constant supply that generally hovers around 4.9 to 5.5 ounces of quality layer feed for each breeding hen daily. Nevertheless, this high level of feed intake is fully justified by the breed's extraordinary capacity to efficiently assimilate these nutrients and transform them into highly marketable biological products throughout the entire productive year without suffering premature organic wear. Analyzing their productivity records inside the nesting boxes of modern poultry houses, a properly selected pure line of Light Sussex pleasantly surprises the seasoned producer with its unwavering consistency. Despite their initial vocation towards heavy meat production, these exceptionally cold-hardy birds power through harsh weather while remaining formidable layers, reliably delivering between 240 and 260 eggs annually, when kept under semi-intensive management systems or rational rotational grazing. Their eggs present a coloration varying from a soft brown to a charming tinted cream shade, standing out for a vigorous initial weight that matures rapidly to stabilize securely between 2.1 and 2.3 ounces. But the true industrial treasure of the Light Sussex, much like its American counterparts, is its massive and vital prominence in the genetic engineering of modern commercial breeding. Utilizing targeted crossbreeding, where a pure Rhode Island Red Foundation rooster is used over a carefully selected flock of pure Light Sussex females, the poultry producer successfully unlocks the famous cross-inheritance pattern that generates the golden layers, commonly known worldwide as the red sex link. This specific commercial cross produces unbeatable female layers, sporting a striking, intense red plumage, which masterfully combine the incredible laying rate of the Rhode Island genetics with the larger body size and the absolute British docility inherited directly from the Sussex maternal line. Observing the daily behavior and the complete life cycle of the Light Sussex, we find ourselves managing a production powerhouse that reaches sexual maturity at a slightly more deliberate pace, successfully activating its reproductive system and beginning commercial laying consistently between 21 and 24 weeks of age. This marginally slower maturation rhythm is absolutely crucial and biologically necessary to allow for the complete calcification of its robust bone structure. This process must be finished before subjecting the hen to the constant daily decalcification that the intense egg-laying process inevitably entails. Their temperament is universally celebrated among professional breeders. They are birds of extreme docility, highly curious, and remarkably sociable. Furthermore, they possess a strong, gregarious behavior that effectively minimizes social stress within the flock. This translates directly into a much lower incidence of immunosuppressive diseases derived from nervousness. Unlike strict industrial lines, the pure Sussex breed still strongly retains a deeply instinctive maternal trait. In practice, this means the percentage of hens presenting natural broodiness during the vibrant spring months is considerably high and must be carefully managed through frequent egg collection. Their productive life is exceptionally long. Their solid body conformation allows them to easily maintain profitability for at least 3 continuous laying cycles. Ultimately, they crown their biological trajectory by yielding a premium table bird with exceptional flavor. Understanding the deep genetics and field performance of these 4 foundational breeds is the absolutely indispensable first step for any seasoned producer who seriously aspires to establish highly profitable commercial poultry operations. It isn't simply about housing your birds, but about truly mastering the biometrics, the feed conversion rates, and the biological cycles that dictate financial success. By integrating the proven genetics of the Leghorn, Rhode Island Red, Plymouth Rock, or Light Sussex, you guarantee an unbreakable base, perfected over a century of rigorous selection. The true art of strategic breeding lies in properly harnessing this massive power. Apply this technical knowledge in your poultry houses and elevate your daily work. Share in the comments which of these genetic lines you consider most adaptable to your specific farm goals and your local climate. If you found this information useful for optimizing your breeding strategies, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to support this content. We will continue deciphering the vital secrets that maximize your yields. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.